Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of Momentum. Today I want to talk to you about the key messaging shift that will skyrocket your sales this year. All right. The biggest messaging mistake that I see that stops people from buying is we're not selling to interested people because we're not warming people up to the interest phase. Okay, stick with me for a second. So if you're getting crickets when you're sharing your offers, if you're putting out your offers, whether that is sharing a lead magnet, whether it's actually sharing your services, whether it is talking about your services, if you're not getting people to the interested phase, then they're not actually reading or seeing your offers as things that they actually want to buy. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're walking through the shopping center and there's some of those stalls in the center of the shopping center aisle and they're trying to sell you stuff by pushing stuff into your hands, right? It doesn't feel good when you walk past those, right? You're almost like you want to avoid eye contact. You want to literally run the other way. You want to like make it look like you're looking at your phone, like all the things to avoid that because they're trying to sell to you when you're not interested, okay? One of the best things that you can do is warm people up to get them to the interested phase before you sell to them. So we're serving before we're selling and we're getting them interested. So we're actually not selling to cold audiences. Now, when you're posting out your stuff on social media, you're always going to get people that are cold, that don't know much about you, that are going to see some of your posts that aren't going to like it, they may even feel like you're being a bit salesy or pushy. That's not the reason to stop, right? But I just want to highlight this. Because you're putting it out to the masses, that is inevitable that there's going to be a percentage of people that aren't ready to buy, okay? Now, when it comes to a social media platform, people are showing up to be social and to be entertained. They're not showing up to buy. Now, if they're searching for the information and they're interested, then having the content there is definitely beneficial because it will serve them in order to go to the next phase of knowing how to work with you. So it is important that you're creating content where you're sharing your offers. It's very important. But we want to recognize that not everyone is ready to buy. Not everyone is interested yet. Now, you can create messaging that helps shift people from awareness to interested. And the way that you want to do that is you want to either highlight a problem or a desire, right? When someone resonates or when they relate to the content that you're sharing, they're going to be more engaged to then hear what you have to say next. So we want to speak to a problem and highlight the problem. Now, the way to take this to the next level is you want to bring in more emotional language. We want to describe the problem better than your ideal client can. The way that we do that is we do lots of market research. We really think about the psychology of what's happening. So we think about what are the symptoms that are happening in everyday life, right? So if you think about your ideal client right now, based on the problem that you solve, I want you to think about a day in their life. And I want you to think about what are the symptoms that show up in their lives that show that the problem that you help them solve is a problem. And how do you describe it? If you're able to articulate that so beautifully, so perfectly, that they're like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening for me, right? And the way to take it to a whole new level that will shift your messaging to a whole new level is how you actually speak about how that makes them feel and what that causes them to make them think about themselves. So you take the external symptoms and you uncover what the internal symptoms then become. So the internal symptoms are usually things like how they talk to themselves about the problem, what they think about the problem, and also how it makes them feel about themselves, right? So let me give you an example. One of the problems my Unstoppable Sales program solves is undercharging. Now, if you're noticing that throughout your day, any conversation that you have around possibly being a sales conversation, if the first thought that you have is, oh, I'm not sure if they'll pay this, or maybe I'm charging a bit too much. Are they going to think this is too expensive? But what if they say no? Maybe I should drop my prices. Maybe if I just add in something, maybe if I just discount something. And you're sitting there apprehensive and you're in your head about it and you're questioning it so much that then you actually forget what the client asked, or you actually are so consumed on that sales call that you just don't know how to approach the next phase and you end up discounting your services. And when that happens after the call and you regret it and you think back to that and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I did that again. Why do I keep doing that? I mustn't be very good at this. Or maybe you have thoughts around like, I suck at this. Like, I must be just terrible at sales. Maybe I should just give it up. Like, maybe I should just go get a 9 to 5 job. Maybe I'm just like not cut out for this thing called business, right? Like maybe you have some of those doubt thoughts. That's a specific example of undercharging, right? And then you want to take it to a whole new level. You want to think, well, how does that make them feel? And that's why I just described there. Maybe they go to the extent of thinking, oh my God, I'm just not cut out for business, right? That's a beautiful example of a problem that could be showing up in an ideal client's experience. And so if you want to do that for your clients and you want to do that for your service, and the way that you position it will change the game. So if you're sick of undercharging, if you're sick of doubting yourself on every sales call, if you're sick of actually discounting your services and then you deliver that service and you feel like you've been completely cheated, you feel like you gave way too much and you feel so exhausted that it's just not even worth it. Like, why should I even be in business? I should just go get a 9 to 5 because at least I'll get paid well. At least I won't have to be stuck here in this bloody roller coaster of income up and down all the time, always doubting, always questioning whether this is even going to work out for me. Like if that's you, unstoppable sales is the thing that's going to solve that. We are going to get you so confident with being able to sell. Not only get clear on your offers and your pricing, but we're going to help you develop your self-confidence in the way that you charge, in the way that you back yourself, in the way that you promote your offers online. So we're also going to build in a sales strategy, which will actually cause you to stop second guessing yourself and confidently promote your offers online, and also know where your next client is going to come from month in, month out, because there's no point in sitting in that roller coaster anymore. So if that's you, unstoppable sales is absolutely the next step for you. So do you see what I mean? Like I actually highlighted the problem right to the extent of the emotional problem and also what they made it believe about themselves. So I want you to think about that for your ideal client, because that's going to shift your messaging to a whole new level this year.